Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm a marriage celebrant, and I thought I'd run through with you some hints and tips about your ceremony if you're planning to have your ceremony outdoors. So, first of all, the obvious one to think about is what if it's raining? Now, do you have a backup plan? It's really important to think about a contingency plan just in case the day that you've planned for so long isn't quite what you expect weather-wise. And if you have a backup plan in place and you know when you're going to make the call, who's going to make the call, if it's at a venue, who's going to make that call, when are they going to make it, prior to the ceremony, as to when the ceremony will be moved from that outdoor location to an undercover or indoor location. So yes, backup plans are very important if you're having an outdoor wedding. Also think about umbrellas for yourselves and the guests. Now, some venues will provide these for you, but it's worth asking the question just in case. I would always highly recommend clear umbrellas for the ceremony, for yourselves and for the guests, purely because people can see through clear umbrellas as to what's still happening, as opposed to the opaque ones or colourful umbrellas where people can't really see too clearly what's going on. And let's face it, the reason that everybody has come for your special day is because they love you and they want to see you. And they want to see you say your vows and be married to the love of your life. So clear umbrellas are a great option. It's not just the rain, it's the sun as well. Here in the Northern Rivers, we've got beautiful weather much of the time, but even in the colder months of the year, not just summer, it is quite brutal sometimes standing out in the full sun. And if you're having especially vulnerable age groups, like the elderly or very young children at your wedding, it's quite uncomfortable and can even be dangerous for, lengths of time if they are in direct sunlight for too long. So here's where the opaque umbrellas will come in handy to shield your guests from that harsh sun prior to the bridal party arriving. Maybe while they're waiting in the sun, they can just have the umbrellas there. And the other thing is, pre-ceremony alcoholic drinks and sun may not be the most ideal option. Perhaps some non-alcoholic drinks or just plain bottled water to keep people hydrated while they're waiting in the sun. So there's another couple of tips. Now, the other consideration I just wanted to mention is, so there's not just rain and sun, there's also the wind to consider. Now, it's July at the moment here in Byron Bay, and we are just entering this time of year where the westerly winds of winter are starting to come. And so there can be some quite strong wind gusts. So it's another consideration both for the comfort of yourselves and your guests. There's usually hair blowing everywhere in gusts of wind, but it can also wreak havoc with the sound as far as your ceremony music goes, if you're having it played through a PA system. Your vows, when you say your vows to each other, can be a little bit difficult for people to hear. And if it's on the beach, that along with the crashing waves can make for quite a noisy background. Not to mention the gusts of wind potentially whipping up the dry sand and blowing it against people's bare legs, which could be a little bit painful at times. It's not a reason to not go ahead with your ceremony, but they're just considerations, and it's a good idea to be prepared for things that aren't within our control, such as the weather. Now, for beach weddings, I would always try to meet up with the couple, if not the whole bridal party, the day or a couple of days prior to the ceremony for a run through And it's more about not reading through the ceremony and the words. We want to save that for the day. It's more about the logistics of the day, where people are going to stand, maybe timing the entrance of your arrival. So with the song that you've chosen, if you're having a bridal or person entry to your wedding, timing that from the car park or the bush or wherever you're entering onto the beach, and making sure the song doesn't stop halfway to where you want to be. So there's that. There's also looking at the tides and looking at the angle of the sun. So it's good to have this rehearsal at the same time and place that the ceremony will be held at. And we can have a look in advance, thanks to the Googles, the interwebs. We can have a look beforehand as to what the tides will be doing, so that we're not surprised when we get there that, oops, there's a king tide and there's no beach left for us to stand on. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and please get in touch with me if you would like to inquire about me being your celebrant, or if you have any other questions. www.byronbaycelebrant.com.au, and I'd love to hear from you. Okay, bye for now.